Hello, thank you for attending the Northwest Athletic Conference webinar that we did on October 5th. We wanted to follow up with a little more information and show you the screenshots and just give you a little more flavor of what the app is all about, what the experience is for the athletes, the coaches, and the athletic directors. But again, a quick overview and intro to Sevwins. It's really a simple app that's built for athletes and their coaches. And the underlying framework provides coaches guidance on how to connect with athletes, develop their character, prepare for competition, reflect on experiences, and build a shared culture. And at the same time, it trains athletes to have more intentional focus around accountability and to think where they're headed. And it also helps them define how they're going to get there. Sevwins is a pretty, like I mentioned, a pretty simple app. There's 4 parts to it. The daily character development, which athletes spend 1 to 2 minutes a day to set goals, build gratitude, assess mental skills, and reflect on experiences. We also have part of the app where you prepare and reflect on games. So you can begin to evaluate and prepare for games and then begin to evaluate your performance and break it into a couple different units of work, so that we can start building on the things we do well and transferring those things that are challenges into our strengths. The performance also leads into the visualization program that we'll share with you later today too. The other 2 other things the app does is that we can capture notes and thoughts. So maybe they're coach notes or personal notes they might have, or notes from a book, whatever it is they want to capture, so they can be able to easily go back and see it in the past or in the future. And also train decisive thinking throughout the entire day. And that's really, we're trying to get athletes to be much more intentional in their actions. So if we take a look at it, on the left-hand side is the homepage where you see daily challenges. And the way that Sevwins is built is that you have a theme for each week. In this case, you'll see the power rep says, view life as a team sport. So that is a challenge they can do anytime throughout the week. It takes a little more time to dive in and just have more reflection and introspective thought. So that sets up the theme for the week. And then the week is built on a Monday through Sunday cadence. And these cadences don't change throughout the entire use of the app, although the themes do. So on Monday, you set goals. So we're going to set 3 goals. What will I read to sharpen my mind? How will I train to improve my body? And then finally, how will I give to elevate others? Those are 3 main goals that we set every single week. The second thing is on Tuesday, we have gratitude. So gratitude is really designed to help athletes view opportunities and start to look at stress as pressure instead of something that's a stress. So we really try to reverse thinking and reverse engineering the mind to help them understand that life is an opportunity versus something that is a challenge for them. Wednesday, we look at 4 mental skills, and we have them go through what we call awareness reps. We have them rank their abilities and how they currently are doing at that point in time. So there's 4 that we look at. One is concentration. The second one is separation. The third one is communication skills. And then finally, energy. Am I attacking challenges or am I avoiding challenges? So that's how we set up and assess the mental skills awareness. Thursday, we look back at the goals, make sure that we're on track, and ask a quick question about the goals that they set. Friday, we have all kinds of amazing quotes and inspirational quotes from athletes, former athletes, current athletes, leaders in this world. And we ask them questions about those inspirational quotes. Sunday, we would go back and reflect on the week, and we have 2 parts to that. That's build on and work on. So build on is what were my wins this week, and how do I get more wins? The second piece is what were my challenges, and how do I overcome them in the future? So that's the structure for each week. Again, the themes change based on the week that we're in. The other portion that we talked about is the gameplay performance or the competition performance. And we have 2 parts to this, what we call a performance journal. The first piece is that I'm getting ready to perform. So I'm preparing to bring my best in that day. So I would go in and set my mantra, which is really my state of mind. Like Kobe Bryant was the Mamba mentality. It's who he was going to be on the court. The whole objective is to help provide athletes something that they can use as a trigger to lock in, or even to reset after adversity. And we use that throughout the visualization exercises too, that we'll show you here in a second. The second piece to a pre-performance journal is that we're going to define our performance targets. So these are the things that I'm going to do better today than I've ever done before. Then we go out and compete. We come back. The app asks, looks like you performed today. So go back in and evaluate your performance. So we're going to look at the state of mind. We're also going to look at the approach and compare that to the results, because you can have a great approach and maybe not get the results. But the point is, we want to continually drive the approach that will ultimately lead to results. Finally, for performance journals, we look at the build on, work on for that performance. And this is, again, where we're going to define what our strengths were and how do we get more wins, and then also what were our challenges and how do we overcome them. What this does for coaches and for athletes is it separates their unit of works it separates their work into 2 units of work, so that they can focus on the things they do well and get them better and sharpen them, but also at the same time attack the things they need to work on, and hopefully over time make that a strength. So it really simplifies how I attack my work as an athlete. Then from a coach standpoint, you can see on the left-hand side, we have a full roster of all the athletes that are in the system in your account. We have something we call a percentage. We call it an accountability percentage, and that's essentially a batting average. So how many times did I fulfill the request when the opportunity was there? The streak is how many reps they've done, how many days in a row they've done a rep. The number of reps obviously is pretty straightforward. And then last is, when was the last time they did a rep? You'll see that little arrow icon at the top. I can export that at any point in time. It creates an image that you can send out to your athletes. You can tweet it. But the whole idea is to show athletes where they live and where they're sitting against their peers. So it does drive a little peer competition there. The center screen there is a feed. So every single response, whether it's an open journal, a performance journal, a growth rep, a power rep, all those get populated into the feed, and they're as they come in. So you get a really good snapshot of where the entire team's mindset is at, and you can dive into individual athletes. And that's what we do on the right-hand side. So I can look at the profile for the athlete. I can see which phase they're in, how many weeks they've won, and how many reps they've done. But I can also dive into their individual responses. So again, trying to inform and empower coaches to continue to mentor athletes. There are 2 resources that I'd like to call out, and you can see these and we'll send them out to you. But we have the 12 must-dos to develop culture and character, character and culture. Again, it's in what you probably heard in the session, is that our belief is that character, if we build character individually, that leads to a shared culture. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do as an organization. But there's 12 main elements that we see, and we've talked to a lot of different coaches and how they've embedded Sevwins and the mental game and character development into their programs. And this basically outlines it. It breaks it up into 4 sections. So weekly coach engagement, daily character development, things that you can do, maximize practice impact, and then driving elite performance. That includes preparation, being in the moment, and then evaluation. The right-hand side is we talked a little bit about performance journals. When I set the mantra before I go out and compete, I can tie that into all of our visualization exercises. And that's a really powerful way, because we connect the movies to the words that we're going to use in game, in competition. So there's a full script that we've built out right now. It's specific to baseball. We are working with a couple other coaches to build out basketball and soccer and a number of other sports. So they're really specific and intentional about how we do visualization. And we even go through in this document, in this page, to describe how you build visualization, how you get in the moment, and how you get the most out of your movie making. So that's the 2 great resources to check out. Something that's specific to the NWAC is that we've launched, along with the NWAC conference office, what we're calling the Character Cup. And the idea is we're trying to promote character through competition. And so every team in the NWAC that signs up with Sevwins will automatically enroll in the Character Cup. And we'll have 2 terms, a fall term and a spring term. So fall has already started on September 1st, it goes through December 31st. And the reality is you can start at any time and be part of that program. Then we have another term that we also do, and that's in the spring from February 1st to May 31st. And what we're going to do is that if a team wins the fall or spring Character Cup, they will receive a $500 donation from Sevwins. So we're putting our money where our mouth is and making this thing attractive to coaches and to athletes, and obviously to athletic directors. And then we'll also have an annual Character Cup. And we're going to award this the Hall of Fame, the NWAC Hall of Fame in 2023. So you'll have two parts of that. You'll have the team with the highest accountability percentage will also receive $500. And then we have the Athlete of the Year and for the Character Cup, and they will also receive $500. So we're giving out, we're donating to the cause $2,000 to the NWAC program, something we're really excited about. Learn more about Sevwins. This will take you to the Northwest Athletic Conference interest list. You can check it out. We've got a couple things on there, a couple assets. You can also submit your information there and we can follow up with you and just get things fast tracked and answer any questions you might have. Connect you with other coaches that have done this so you can ask questions if it's needed. Or if you're just ready to go and you want to skip the chat and just get going, we have 3 types of licenses. One is for small teams, that's less than 30 athletes and coaches. We have large teams, and that's for teams that are greater than 30 athletes and coaches. And then finally, we have the athletic department license. And ultimately, that's where we want to be, is we want to help be partners. We want to be a partner with an athletic department and make this thing go wide and have that impact broad and deep. So the pricing at the low end is $77 per month. And then at the high end, it's $277 per month. That is all inclusive for an entire year. Again, if you have questions, scan this, follow up with us. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for being an amazing partner. We look forward to making a difference in the athletes' lives and just continuing to enable our coaches and our athletic departments. Thank you very much.